Welcome back, friends. Last Scav here. Time for more voice LP for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're now doing case number 4, Twisted Karma and His Last Vow. What is that? Let's go. Investigation Part 1. Basically the setup for everything, this episode. It was indeed a most bizarre incident born of a curious advertisement and a commonplace killing at the edge of town.
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog, he said. Indeed, a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder, an executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night. And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant. And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow. For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
The game? What game? Better not be the one with the fingers in the hole, you know? No. No to that. 8 days after that earth-shattering trial and Kazuma regaining his memory, we were in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel. Why would you have a hotel called the Waterloo? 1st November, 10:24 a.m., Great Waterloo Hotel foyer. Professor Mikotoba is due to arrive at any moment. Yes, I'm so glad we got here in time. Susato-san hasn't been the same since what happened. Not that I'm surprised. The truth about Kazuma-sama's father. Do you suppose my father knew? Maybe. That he was actually the mass murderer of the professor, you mean? I knew that's what she was thinking about. There's a good chance, I'd say. I mean, they did come here to London together 16 years ago, didn't they? Yes, that's true. Come to think of it, didn't you say that Professor Mikotoba knew about Kazuma going missing in Hong Kong as well? That's right, but for some reason he wasn't at liberty to talk to me about it. That probably means he knows then. About Kazuma showing up here in London with amnesia, and that he's regained his memory now. Ah, there she is. Whoa! Look how dapper they look. I don't remember Mr. Mikotoba's voice, so I'm going with what I'm going with right now. Oh, father! Oh, father! There we go. Hello, Sasato. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. We're delighted you've arrived safe and sound. Hello, Mr. Naruhodo. Very kind of you to take the trouble to meet us here. Oh, not at all. It's my pleasure. We've heard all about your extraordinary exploits here in London, you know. The news has crossed the seas. It has? I always look forward to reading the monthly reports that arrive with the steamships from Britain. Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. Who is this man, and why do I feel as though I've seen him before? Look at the beard! I take it from your expression that you can't quite place me. In that case, how about a little reminder, Seshiro? A firm tap should do it. Yes. A firm tap? What? Gavel. Here we go, then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, guilty. Ah! Oh! Oh, you're... Ooh. That the guy. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Yeah, that guy. He also looks very happy here. Yeah, Your Excellency! Hello, Judge Jigoku. How are you? It's been a long time. Good, you've remembered now. That really did the trick. Just carries a hammer. Guilty. Only I was declared not guilty, wasn't I? And there was no laughing at the time. So London again after all this time. Hard to believe it's been 10 years. To be honest, I never thought I'd be back. Neither did I. Neither did I. I didn't imagine Japan would ever be invited to an international symposium like this. Though really, I doubt anyone did. To be honest, it's all thanks to you, isn't it? Seshiro. What are you talking about, Yujin? Of course, Judge Jigoku. He must complete the set. He's the other man who, 16 years ago, came to London with Kazuma's father and Professor Mikotoba. He's the third visiting scholar. Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? I knew you were jealous. Sorry? Ministerial status? Yes, didn't you know? Seshiro here is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. It was his personal insistence that allowed you to take Kazuma's place here on this study tour. Guilty as charged. Oh, well, thank you very much. He's really every bit as important as he looks. Ah, yes, now, Naruhodo. I received a telegram from Lord Strongheart yesterday. Oh, you did? It appears that some things came to light in a trial you were involved with 8 days ago? About what happened 10 years ago. That tragedy. Yes, could you tell us any more about it? Nope. I can't converse. Journey from Japan. So, how was the voyage here? Well, 50 days at sea is a long time by anyone's standards. But it wasn't as bad as when we first came 16 years ago. No, that's true. Then I truly wondered if we wouldn't be drifting in the vast ocean for the rest of our lives. This time we followed the same route as you, so we were able to relax and enjoy the experience. Ah, so you stopped in France's beautiful capital, Paris? We did, yes, though only for one night. And yesterday evening we left the port of Dunkirk for Dover. Just in time for the symposium, in fact. It starts tomorrow. It's wonderful that you're invited to attend such an important international event. I'm very proud of you, Father. It's thanks to Seshiro here. 16 years ago, he managed to ingratiate himself with Britain's Attorney General. I'm sure that's why he was invited, and I suppose you could say I'm something of an appendage by default. Speak for yourself, Eugen. You're close friends with a professor of forensic science at a major hospital. Yes, well, I'd rather not dredge all that up, really. No, there's been a lot of water under the bridge since then, but it doesn't bring him back. Kazuma's father, I suppose? Or Wilson. Kazuma's father. What? I'll drop the controller for a second. The professor. The killer who took the lives of 5 members of the British aristocracy. Was actually Kazuma's father, wasn't he? That's correct. Genshin Asugi. Genshin. You knew, I presume, Father? Yes, he was a close friend at the time. Genshin came to Britain as a police detective. He was studying investigative techniques at Scotland Yard. I've never understood what drove the man to commit such heinous acts. It was a closed trial, so the public never knew the truth, and he was executed with little ado. To this day, very few people know what really happened, even in our homeland. But what about Cosmo? Did he know? Did he know the truth about his father? No, of course not. He was told his father passed from sickness. However, I suspect he may have had his doubts. Oh, why? As you know, I tried to guide Kazuma growing up, as if he were my own son. Then one day he came to my office at the university and said, God, I haven't done Cosmo's voice in freaking ever. I've decided I want to travel to Great Britain and study there. Do you think he wanted to come here to investigate his father's death? I don't know. But when I looked into his eyes, I did know that there was no way I'd be able to stop him. Something else came to light in that trial the other day, actually. Oh, what? Well, having disappeared in Hong Kong and have been missing for almost a year, Cosmo has since turned up here in London, working as the apprentice of Lord Von Zeeks. What? What? That's news to us. Yeah, they've been gone for 50 days. How would they know? So, Lord Strongheart's telegram neglected to mention that part then. So yeah, Strongheart got to choose whatever they learned. Okay, Cosmo's reappearance. As you know, we both thought Cosmo had died on the same ship during our voyage to Great Britain in January. But he didn't die. He's alive. As you knew, didn't you, Father? In actual fact, no. What I did know is that when your ship docked in Hong Kong, he mysteriously vanished. We sent a team of investigators to Hong Kong to try to ascertain what had happened, but to no avail. But he's still alive, and here in London, you say? I never dared even to dream it. Why on earth did the young man not make contact? The government and the police have been chasing clues fruitlessly for months now. Well, it seems that he was suffering from amnesia. What? Amnesia? When we first came across him again here in London, he didn't know who either of us were. I see. He only regained his memory 8 days ago. This is unbelievable. Yes, it's quite miraculous. I wonder why Lord Strongheart didn't let us know. I must speak with him urgently. I wonder how Cosmo's been these past few days. Would it be wrong of us to go and visit him? Your time in Britain. Woo. That began 16 years ago now. It's a distant memory, really. It was Eugen here. Genshin Asogi and myself. We were the original 3. The first judicial scholars from Japan to travel overseas to study. Ocean voyages were not what they were today, I can tell you. 16 years ago, things were tough for their generation. Your father was an exceptionally fine medical student at Yume University at the time, you know, young lady. Yes, grandmother told me. He went to do research at a great London hospital to study autopsy. Practically unheard of in Japan. Yes, it was an eerie place, sandwiched between the back of a prison and a burial ground. Not more talk of graves. Very often, there's no one willing to deal with bodies following autopsy work. So you see, autopsy labs have something of an unavoidable relationship with graveyards and prisons. Not my cup of tea at all. Do you remember that Scottish prison governor? Hayden, his name was? He was a good man. Yes, but then of course, in our 6th year here, everything changed with that dreadful case. When Genshin was arrested. For a series of the most gruesome murders. I simply couldn't believe it. I'd known the man for years. I was a witness at the secret hearing and I tried to speak in his defense, but you went a little too far and ended up facing charges yourself, didn't you? Well, suffice to say that after that trial, we were sent back to Japan. There was nothing more we could do to save Genshin. He was a lost cause, sadly. Well, if you'll excuse us now. Yes, I'd like to get this trunk up to my room as soon as possible. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have held you up here for so long. I'll call for the porter then. Just wait here. Susato-san's gone off at a run. I'd like to stay and talk more, but I do have various preparations to make for tomorrow. Yes, of course. It must be a big responsibility representing our entire country. I wish you the best of luck. Naruhodo. I hope you'll keep an eye on Susato for me. Keep looking after her as you obviously have been. Oh no, I mean if anyone's looking after anyone, it's her looking after me. Well, I do appreciate you being there for her, after all. I've been a miserable father to her. I've thoroughly let her down. Sorry? What do you mean? Well, it was 16 years ago that I started my long study here in Britain. As you know, the very year Susato was born. Yes, I heard. The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but... well, sadly it was accompanied by the most tragic event of my life, too. Oh, yes. Susato-san hinted at something like that. It was a rather turbulent time at home. Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. The point is, I became rather less dependable than befits a grown man. And it was then that Sashiro offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain. I was too worried about you to leave you behind. So perhaps I was a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me to London. So that's what happened in a nutshell. And that's also the reason why I now feel compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare. Though the world does not readily afford young women such things, I must say. I completely understand, Professor. One other thing, Naruhodo. If I may be so bold, I have a favor to ask of you. Oh, really? Of course. What can I do for you? Well, the thing is, I'm so sorry that took so long. Oh, look at this guy. It's this guy. Isn't that like one of the bosses of the carriage people? Mrs. Sato! Now then, allow us to take your bags. Allow me to take your bags. One moment, if you please, Porter. Of course, sir. This guy. That machine around your neck. It's a camera, I believe. Quite right, sir. Just 5 shillings for a lovely photograph to commemorate a wonderful stay at the hotel, sir. I think I gave this guy a gruffer voice before. Well, I think given the occasion, we could justify this expense. Ah, yes. Yes, of course. Freaking Naruhodo. Always looking like he's gonna get killed. I'd like to thank you for coming with me, Miss Naruhodo. It's really made Father very happy, I think. Oh, well, I'm pleased then. But we were interrupted before. Professor Mikotoba was about to ask me something. Shall we return to Baker Street then? I expect Iris will have some delicious tea waiting for us. Yes, let's go! I'm getting more and more anxious about Kazuma, though. Perhaps I'll try to meet with Lord Strongheart later and ask after him. Alright. Let us move. New location's been added. Fairwater Hotel, let's read these. What a grand place. Father certainly seems to be enjoying relaxing in the luxuriant atmosphere. One of the most luxurious hotels in London, where Professor Mikatoba and Judge Jigoku have rooms for the duration of their stay. It's more grand than anything I've ever seen before. Yeah, we haven't visited the place in a while. I believe Ash is waiting with tea. All in all that, but I find this place more relaxing than anywhere else. Okay, I assume we can't do those places and just go straight to Sholmes. First November, Sholmes's Suite. Wee. Here we go, guys. Wee. What was that? A man screaming. Oh, okay, it was him then. In a most unflattering way. So it's Sholmes. Like, Sherlock Sholmes, that is me. Look at that. Do you think... Could it have been Mr. Sholmes? Oh my, I hope not. Nope. Wah! It's a little boy crying. I don't do it anymore. Mon ami. Stop the disgraceful display, oh? Who are these people? Look at their hair, it's bright red. Gingers. I think they must be clients of Mr. Sholmes. Oh god, Gina. No, don't bring Gina in here. I wanted her to be gone. I don't know this voice too well. Good night, you two. You're coming with me now, down to the clink. No, not in prison. It's dark and damp. I don't like it. Above the darkness, it is my friend. I am not scared. But you're always scared of the dark. Shut your mouth, you idiot. I will sit quietly in the dark and plan on next daring heist. I don't like this. I don't like it. Well, tough. We'll finish this down at the yard. Now get moving. Now the kid's like, okay. Bye then, Guinea. Have fun. I hope to never see these two again, because they're going to be a pain in the ass. Oh god, all the characters are showing up. Oh god. Oh yeah, thanks, Artis. And thanks, you're a great detective. Gina's just getting worse and worse in my voice. Gina makes a fine detective herself, doesn't she? Oh, Susie and Bruno. Hello, Iris. Welcome home. I mean, we're home. Well, hello, Iris. We're home. Well, did you find your daddy? Yes, we arrived at the hotel just before he and his friend. Oh, well that's great news. I hope I'll get to see my daddy again soon. Only if you die here soon. Ah, yes, of course. Dr. John H. Wilson. So, Iris, all that remains now is that greatest of problems known to man. Oh, God. But before we concern ourselves with that, I do believe some tea is in order. Don't you, my dear fellows? He looks really weird with red hair. Holy crap. Huh. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Do I have a crumb or such like on my face? Not so much on your face. As on your head, I'd say. Come along then, everyone. I brewed a lovely special blend. Time for tea. Whatever's going on here today? In that case, let us sit and drink now. For I am, in fact, expecting a guest later today. Let us just converse with him. Few visitors. Mr. Sholmes? Who were the two gentlemen that were here before? Oh, just a pair of petty criminals. Nothing of significance. Of course, they have to make a living somehow. And when the mood takes me, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to all manner of infractions. When the mood takes you? I mix up voices for it. When the mood takes you? All manner of interactions? But when such fellows set their sights on Mr. Herlock Sholmes, well, that's when their luck runs out. Oh my, you were the target of a crime, Mr. Sholmes? But I quickly devised a plan to entrap them and deliver them to our young detective ally. You should ask Greggsy to come too. We could have had an Western tea party. I did send word, but no answer was forthcoming. The man is consummately in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's a word for it, I'm sure. Aha, I have it. A bungler, that's the word. It's a good job he's not here to hear you say that. So those redheads had been up to no good? I wonder what the men did. The greatest problem. What was that about the greatest problems known to man that you mentioned before? Is it another fiendishly intricate case, Mr. Sholmes? How should I best explain it? Are you aware of the theory of evolution by natural selection, perchance? Well, I think I've heard talk of it somewhere, possibly. It's a revolutionary scientific theory that was newly proposed 40 years ago now. According to its author, Mr. Darwin, we humans were once apes who lived on the treetops. Wait, what? We were apes? Indeed, and from the very moment those apes descended from the canopy to live as humans, it has been our lot to be at the mercy of the greatest problem known to man. Our lot? What is this great problem, Mr. Sholmes? Why is it not obvious, my dear madam? The problem of rent. Oh my god. Ha! But did you not receive a rather large sum of money from Madame de Spells only the other day? Sure, a large sum? One potted herb virus and a new motor car for me later, and all of it has quite disappeared, I assure you. Honestly, Harry, you know you squandered it. Yes, well, anyway, 2 days ago, I discovered the answer to man's greatest problem, for the coming month at least. And what was the answer? Why, there's a substantial clue before your very eyes. Oh god, I read this case back in the day. I read it when I was like 13 or 14. The redhead case. Alright, we're doing this one. Okay. What's gonna happen with this? Don't tell me. Let me see. You offer money to a bunch of redheads. I don't... And then... Oh, yeah. I remember why. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it. Okay. Humans are sorry creatures, unable to see what is in front of their noses. Let me give you some assistance. Don't look, but observe me very closely. By the way, as we get through this thing, this case, actually, someone does this in real life and it works out for them. Alright. There's one particular feature about my person that has changed. You should notice it in the end, I think. In the end? It's in stabbing me in both eyes right from the very beginning of our conversation. He looks like a tomato. I think we might need another clue before we uncover the full answer, Miss Naruto. Thanks for the hint. I'll be tearing my hair out if this charade goes any longer. The lie you told. Mr. Sholmes, isn't it about time you told us the truth? Just over a week ago you said to us, I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. That case aboard the SS Bury in January. Cosmo wasn't killed, and you knew he wasn't dead at the time. So what was really going on? The fellow was unconscious for a very long time. If he hadn't regained consciousness when he did, his life would have been in mortal peril. Of course, a side effect of the prolonged comatose state was amnesia, as you know now. It was a simple enough task to silence the crew. But how? After they carried him out of the cabin, I assembled them in the lobby area. Then I made them swear. I leave him unconscious and have him unlaid from the ship in Hong Kong as a murdered corpse. Oh, how horrible! It was necessary to find some material with which to persuade the crewmen to keep their word, of course. But why? Why do it in the first place? I will be at liberty to elaborate in due course. Question? What happened to the Russian girl who escaped? And got turned in for killing Kazuma? Did they just fake that part? Like... But for the time being, I would like to reassure you. I didn't foresee subsequent events. What events? His disappearance in Hong Kong? Oh. I believe I may have made a gross error of judgment. Mr. Sholmes. Alright, lie you told. Am I supposed to present or look at his head? I guess I'm supposed to look at his head. I'm not examining his head. See, there's a mask over there, but let's go over... Nah, that's not what I meant to do. I'll do this. The mask. The mask Cosmo wore when he was assigned to Lord Von Zeeks as his apprentice. When he cast it aside after the trial the other day, I just sort of picked it up. We ought to give it back to him, I suppose. But he has his memory back now, doesn't he? And I can't help feeling he might turn around and tell me coldly to wear it myself. But isn't he your best friend? Like, shouldn't she know Kazuma very well too? He was basically a brother. Or a cousin. What are we doing here? This blackboard is where Iris scribbles down her latest ideas, isn't it? Let's see. Oh, she seems to have drawn a lot of little stick figures all lined up. Look. Cheap apples at the market is what all of them say. What? The little figures can speak? All your questions would be answered if only you would read this month's Rant magazine. So I'm the only one who can't make sense of any of this? Alright, so are we supposed to go somewhere else? I don't have anything to present. Alright, let's go somewhere else then. Can we talk to Strongheart yet? I assume we can, but... Oh no, here we go. Okay, after this section we'll stop. 1st November, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Here's the final draft of the opening address for tomorrow's proceedings. I've supplemented your original with the figures you asked for from the yard. I see. Excellent work. Thank you. You're welcome, my lord. What's Lord Von Zeeks doing here? My, there seems to be an awful lot of tension in the air, wouldn't you say? This place is stifling enough as it is. We really don't need any more tension. Ah, balls. My apologies. I didn't notice you come in. Your small stature and dark dress make you all but invisible to me. Oh! No, it's entirely my fault for wearing black, I'm sure. From now on, you must dress in white from head to toe whenever you come here. Now then, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, my lord. I'm right here. Kill me now. Is something wrong? Perhaps it's a little too hot in here for you. Oh no, not at all. I mean, I've never experienced a room at such a perfect temperature. If you're sure, the beads of sweat carving their way down your face seem to suggest otherwise. Because of the daggers you're staring at me with, mainly. As you're no doubt aware, my International Forensic Science Symposium begins tomorrow. In fact, your father arrived in London earlier today, I hear, madam. Oh, yes, that's right, my lord. He's extremely honored to have been invited. I'll leave the remaining preparations for the meeting room in your capable hands then, Lord von Zeeks. I will attend at once. Well, he made a look. He gave you a very cold stare as he left, didn't he? I know, but I haven't done anything, have I? These past few days, my feet have barely touched the ground, I must say. My dedicated right hand of many years was recently put out of action in spectacular fashion. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is your left hand still in service? Miss Naruhodo, he's talking about Dr. Scythe. Ah, of course. I'm terribly sorry about that. I was just, Fear not, you've done nothing wrong. Dr. Scythe's own wrongdoing precipitated the situation. You needn't concern yourself with any of that further. That would be a lot easier to do if it weren't for the piercing stare you're giving me. Lord von Zeeks is doing an admirable job of holding the fort. Though disturbingly, his apprentice has been missing since yesterday. Oh, missing? What's become of Kazuma-sama now? Converse. Symposium. Not long ago, visitors' numbers to the Great Exhibition exceeded 30 million. 30 million? Are there even that many people in the world? Yes, there are. As a comparison, Ms. Naruhodo, the population of the imperial capital Tokyo is 2 million. I'm opening the International Forensic Science Symposium in the exhibition's main auditorium. This event has been 2 years in the making. 2 years of preparations and negotiations with other countries. It sounds like a tremendous achievement. Congratulations. The 20th century will see the wholesale adoption of forensic investigation techniques. And cooperation between policing organizations around the globe will be essential. Which is why this landmark first symposium had to be hosted here at the heart of our great British Empire, in order that Scotland Yard can become the leading investigative organization in the New World. He's the same as ever, I see. That passion of his is quite something. You're every bit as passionate in your own way, I'm sure, Miss Naruhodo. Why can't you read my mind? I'm the only person in this country who truly cares about the future that embraces forensic science. It was my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the Yard from the ground up. So the disgrace of the forensic investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambitions. Boss. I first established the forensic investigation team a year ago, experimentally to start with. With Dr. Scythe at the helm, it was steadily accruing an impressive record of achievement. I was on the verge of changing its name and elevating its status to a full-blown forensic investigation department. And can you not do that now? Obviously, nobody wants to hear anything about it at the moment. Even I can't keep this story out of the papers. 6 million Londoners will be cursing forensic science now. This incident will set back our country's advancement in the field by a good 10 years, I'd say. Unintended repercussions of our trial. We simply couldn't have overlooked what had happened, though. Of course not. We should all be grateful to you both. Anyway, I'll still reform this country's policing when I become Attorney General. This might delay my plans, but it won't alter them. Nothing will stand in my way. Missing apprentice. About Lord Von Zeke's apprentice? Ah, yes, that came as a surprise to me, I must say, that you and he are old friends. How did he become an apprentice to Lord Von Zeke's in the first place? It came about 3 months ago. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by border police. They found him hiding aboard a large goods vessel. Oh my! So he stowed away to get here. He had no papers to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from amnesia too. Other than the fact he was clearly an Eastern descent, there were no clues as to who he was. We decided to assign him to Lord Von Zeke's. That way I could keep an eye on him. But then, why the mask? I didn't want to burden Lord Von Zeke's with tiresome explanations about why he had an Eastern apprentice. Because it would be so much easier to explain why he was wearing a mask? I don't know, people are racist. He's proven to be a great help to Lord Von Zeke's. I have high hopes for his future. He wanted to be a defense lawyer though, didn't he? By the way, do you know where he's gone? No idea, but I believe he's left London for the time being. Oh. I take it you also didn't know? That the man's father was one of our country's most infamous criminals, I mean. Genshin Asogi. How would he know? Because of his father's crimes. What we learned from trial 8 days ago was a huge shock. Finding out my friend's father was... Ah yes, Genshin Asogi. The professor case 10 years ago caused a great stir here in Britain. There are such awful murders. And unprecedented. Using a vicious dog as a murder weapon. The Hound of the Baskervilles, okay. And no one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student invited to study here by the government. So the true identity of the killer couldn't be made public then and can't be made public now. Nobody in your country knows it was him, and neither do the citizens of London. The main motivation was to avoid aggravating relations between our two nations at the time, I understand. Correct. However, it has to be noted that there were some supporters of the professor's apparent cause. What? Supporters of a mass murderer? The majority of the man's victims were a blight on the aristocracy of the day. Somewhat ironically, their deaths actually benefited society as a whole. Or so a few, fair thinkers in London believed anyway. Right, I see. But it was still murder, wasn't it? Seems very similar, doesn't it? To the idea of the Reaper of the Bailey. Huh? I have nothing to present him, so I don't know where to go now. Move? But once we get Shelms talking, that's when we're going to stop. Nothing new there. Are they still over there? They might not be there anymore. They're not there, okay. What do I do? 1st November, Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Examine. I am clueless as to what we're supposed to do next, but that'll be it for now. I guess we just look around Sholmes' place? I'm not sure. I figured the red hair was the thing, but we can't just point it out, I guess. I don't know. Well, we'll see. That is it for now. I had fun up here from watching. That's what's all about it. Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.